Just letting you all know that watching this video you get a special bonus craft. I'm going to show you how to make this really cool adult coloring pin. That's in addition to all the other 5 pins that I'm going to show you. So let's get going. Hello and welcome again to Christine's Creativity Cabinet, where art making can be done in 5 minutes. Today I'm going to show you some really cute little pins that you can make in 5 minutes or less from simple little materials. And this can be a fun thing that you can do when you're bored and want to pass the time. Let me just go over the ones that I'm going to show you. This one is made again from clamshell packaging, which is you've seen my other clamshell packaging video, but this is done instead of with sewing with tape. I'm going to show you that. I've gotten on the squishy bandwagon and I made a cute little chocolate chip cookie, and this is a squishy, but he's also a pin, and I'm going to show you how to make it with cosmetic rounds. The third kind of pin, this is made from duct tape, and it's a little pouch. You can open it up and you can put whatever you want in there. I have some little charms which I will show you later that I will put in there. And then I'm going to show you these very fun pins that are made from washi tape and cork circles. These are extremely easy and very fast to make. And the final kind that I'm going to show you are feathers, which again I make from washi tape. So let's get started making art. Okay, the first pin that we're going to make is a clamshell packaging pin. And clamshell packaging, which I'm having trouble saying today, is this kind of flexible packaging. You can kind of see it on here. It's this clear plastic packaging, and very often it's very difficult to remove. Those of you who saw my clamshell packaging charms video will be familiar with what I'm talking about. But if you don't actually have clamshell packaging to recycle, you can get these wonderful little dry erase pouches. They're actually not little, they're nice and big, like this, from Dollar Tree. And that will provide you with all the plastic that you need. You also will need washi tape. Got some of this here. You need some of the kind of slightly wider kind to tape it all together. And then you'll have some narrower kind, like this, to use for decoration. Also some stick-on jewels, which I also got at Dollar Tree, like this. And also and a glue stick and a pair of scissors. That's all you need. And then also the adhesive pin backs to go on the back, make it into a pin. So let's get started. All right, you start by taking your image. This can be any sort of image that's flat and that's small that will make a nice pin. I'm going to use another one of these teacups, so it'll be similar to that. I think I'm going to use this one down here at the bottom, so I'm just going to cut it out like so, and there we go. So I've got it. Now, unlike the clamshell packaging charms, which the image could be any shape, for this, because we're using tape, you really want to stick with a square or rectangular image, because that's the easiest to tape up. So now I've got my image right there, and now I'm going to take and I'm going to cut out some plastic. I'm going to make the plastic be about 1/4 of an inch more around the image, so it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch bigger. So see that? So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. like this. And that's not completely straight, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust it. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I've got that. So now I'm going to take it, I'm going to cut another piece of plastic that exact same size and shape. So I'm just going to match that up and cut another. If it's not 100% straight, I mean, you know, make it as straight as possible, but if it's not 100% straight, it doesn't matter that much because you can kind of straighten things up when you tape it. Okay, so now I have two pieces of plastic that are like the same rectangle. So now I'm going to just take this image and I'm going to glue it on to there, which is my first piece of plastic. Move this forward so you can see. And I'm going to take my glue stick and glue it on. Like so. Now in this project, since it's going to be a pin instead of a charm, you don't have to worry about what it looks like on the back because nobody's going to see the back, right? So now I've got that glued on. And I'm going to take my second piece of plastic and put it on top. Like so. So now I have a sandwich. Plastic, coffee cup, plastic. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and get out my washi tape. And I'm just going to tape up those edges. So now mainly it's just going to be a matter of doing a little decorating. And I think I would like to use this little tape. It says, "Be happy." We're going to put some of that on there. And I'm going to take some of these cute little stick-on jewels, and I'm going to put those in the corners. But you can basically decorate this however you like. There we go. Okay. And now we have that. And now all that's left to do is to put a pin back on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have these little self-sticking pin backs, which are very easy to use. You just peel off the backing. There's one. You just peel off the backing and stick it on. And there you go. Oh, you have a pin. That may be a little bit difficult to hold on to. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is this cute little cookie. He's a little chocolate chip cookie, but he's also a squishy. You can see that I can squish him. For you squishy fans out there, this is my first squishy attempt. I think he turned out pretty well. But he's also a pin. This is very fast to make as far as actual labor goes, but there is some drying time involved, which takes away a little bit from the 5-minute aspect, but you can be off doing something else while the drying time is happening, and it doesn't really take any more than 5 minutes of work. So let me first show you what you need for this. You need cosmetic rounds, which they kind of look like this. I kind of like the texture of these because it kind of reminds me of the little holes that you sometimes see in cookies and crackers. I get these at Dollar Tree. This is what the package looks like right here. So, and you get about 1 million of them in this. And then you also need some fiberfill stuffing, or cotton will also work. I found at Walmart this special kind of spray paint, which is specifically for fabric. It's called Tulip Color Shot Fabric Paint, and I have this in gold, and so it makes a kind of a color that resembles the color of a chocolate chip cookie. And then you want to have some scissors just for minor cutting things. You'll need a needle and thread, and the thread can be pretty much any color, but I just like to make it white because you're going to be spray painting this afterwards, so it doesn't really matter what the color, what the thread is. And you also will need some puffy paint in black and in brown. And you also need a little toothpick and maybe a little artist palette for the painting purposes. So that's everything that you need. So let's get started. Now, the first thing that you do is you take 2 of these little cosmetic rounds and put them together, and then you're just going to sew them together almost all the way around. You, of course, going to leave a little bit unsewn so that you can stuff it. So I'm going to start doing that. And these rounds are actually, it's a little bit hard to get the needle through the actual round, but it's easier if you aim for some of the holes. I like to use an overcast stitch because then you end up with a kind of a scalloped edge. Like you'll see on this guy, is a little bit scalloped there, which I think looks more cookie-like. So I'm going to go ahead and continue sewing this together. Okay, now I've got it most of the way sewed. You can see that there's still a little opening right there. And that's going to allow me to stuff it. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff. I'm going to put pretty fair amount. And it's a little bit challenging, but if you just can get your finger in there, you can kind of push it in. And then I'm going to continue sewing until I have it all sewed up. Okay, now what I'm going to do is move this out of the way here. Now it's time to spray paint it. So I'm going to cut off that little excess bit too. So now I've got a little puffy little white cookie here. That's kind of squishy, and I'm going to take some Kleenex here to protect the table. Those down. Okay. And then I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to spray it with the spray paint. So, make sure I get all the edges. Now I have to leave it to dry for just a little bit until it's dry on one side, and then I'll have to spray the other side. Okay, now it looks like my cookie is dry enough so that I can spray it on the other side. So that's what I'm going to do. All the white on there. There we go. And now this needs to sit and dry before I'm going to be ready to decorate. Okay, so my cookie is dry now. The spray paint is dry. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to take a little bit of puffy paint and a toothpick and add a cute little face to him. On them. And then all I need to do is I'm going to take the brown puffy paint just from the bottle and add a bunch of chocolate chips. Do is let him dry carefully away from everything else so that he doesn't get smashed like my other one did. That one got smashed. I had to like redo it twice because each time it got stuff piled on top of it before the paint was dry. But it turned out okay anyway. And that's something that's a tip that I can give you here, is that if something goes wrong and your paint gets smushed before it's dry, all you have to do is just give it another coat of spray paint and then redo the face and the chips. And then once this is completely dry, all that needs to happen is to put a pin back on it, and then you've got a pin. Okay, the paint is dry on my cookie squishy. And I'll let you see that it is actually squishy. It's not exactly slow rising, but maybe medium rising. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a pin back on him and he'll be done. Let's see, I want to make that right side up there. And there we go. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is this little duct tape pouch, which is also a pin. And this is a very quick, fast one to make, and it actually is a real pouch. It opens up there, and I'm going to put in here a couple of cute little charms. I've got a little turtle, and I've got a ladybug, and just to show you that this will actually hold them. You can put whatever you want in your little pouch. So here's how to make it. First of all, what you will need is you will need some duct tape. I got this wonderful blue bubble duct tape at Dollar Tree, amazingly enough. You will need scissors. You will need some washi tape to tape up the edges. So I have that. And you'll need whatever you want to use to decorate. I got these wonderful little round stickers from Wish.com. So I'm going to use one of these to decorate. And I'm also going to use some stick-on jewels that I got from Dollar Tree. And you will need some Velcro. So I have these little Velcro screws. These are self-adhesive, but when I made my sample, found out that they don't really stick very well. So I have my wonderful art hack here. This is Liquitex Gloss Super Heavy Gel Medium, and I'm going to use it as a glue. This makes a wonderful glue that really, really holds things, and yet it doesn't have nasty chemicals and fumes like so many of the other glues like E6000 and things like that. So I'm going to use that to glue down my Velcro because the adhesive on these little squares doesn't quite cut it. So that's what you need. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to cut a piece of duct tape. Gotta find the end. Like this. And okay, we're gonna base the width of the pouch on the width of this tape. Okay, so I'm gonna need one that's gonna be about twice as long as this is wide, plus a little bit more to account for the fold over flap. So maybe about this long. I'm gonna take that and cut it off. And then I'm gonna take this and lay it sticky side up on the table. And actually I find this is easier to do horizontally than vertically, though it's a little bit of a challenge to get it to unstick from your fingers. Come on, do that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take it and cut another piece that's pretty much that same length. Doesn't have to be exact because you'll be able to trim things off with scissors later. Okay, I'm having trouble keeping this on camera. I have to cut it off. There. Now this is the one and only step that's kind of tricky that you want to be real careful with, and I'm already having a problem here with that wanting to curl up. you're going to stick this tape down on that tape. Now, whenever you do sticky to sticky, you get one and only one chance to make it work. So you have to be real careful. So I'm just going to stick that right down. And it's not 100% perfect, but that's okay because I'll be able to trim off what doesn't match. So and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim off the parts where the tape doesn't match. Got that, and the tape will want to stick to the scissors, so I have to periodically pull it off. Okay, and then trim this and just do it the rest of the way so that it's even. And even then it doesn't have to be 100% even because it'll even up when you add the edging tape. Okay, so now I have this. Now I'm going to fold it. Oh, it looks like I have to cut that off as well. Not quite enough there. There we go. I'm going to fold it up like this. So now I have that, and I'm going to fold that down like that. So that's the basis of the pouch, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of crease that bottom fold. And then I'm going to tape up the sides with washi tape. Now that's not going to 100% stay, so I like to reinforce it on the back with another piece of tape. So now this is what I have right here. I'm going to fold that over. That's the top. It's the little top of the pouch. Now I'm going to do a little decorating. I'm going to grab one of these. See, I like this one a lot, so I think I'm going to put that on there as a decoration. And so all I need to do is, this is a sticker, so I just need to peel off the back and stick it on. Velcro to make the pouch close. So I'm going to take about a half of a square here. So I'm going to cut that off. There we go. And then I'm going to stick this to the underside of the top there. And then I'm going to take the little hooky kind and cut a half of that. And then the way that the easy way to figure out where to put that, to have it be correct, is to just stick it right on top of your other Velcro like that, and then you fold it over, and then that sticks it right where it should be. And then I'm going to peel that off, and I have to like hold it with my fingers to keep it from coming off. But now I know exactly where that should be. And now I'm going to take my gel medium, and I'm going to peel off the Velcro and put gel medium on there in order to reinforce that so that it won't just pull off. The Velcro won't just pull off when you try to, see, that comes off very easily. That shouldn't come off as easily as that. And I've got a piece of tape on there. So now I'm going to take, oops, that's the wrong side. Gotta go do it on the back side here. I'm just gonna spread some of this gel medium on there. And then this goes back on here. And then peel this off, and I'm looking at the pattern of that sticker to kind of guide me as to where to put it back on. Gel medium on there. And I'm going to put that back on there, like so. And there we go. Now that has to sit and dry. Okay, for this little pouch, looks like our glue is dry. You can open it and close it. So now I'm just going to add a little stick-on jewel right there. So you can see that. And then I just need to put a pin back on it and it's done. There we go. Put a pin back on it and now it'll work as a pin. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you, this one is a really quick, easy one, but they're really fun. These are little washi tape pins that I make from cork circles. I got a bunch of these on clearance at Michael's, so that's what I generally use for this. But you can also use like a wooden circle, or you can even use old poker chips that you can get at a thrift store. They just have to have a smooth surface that's not textured. So all you really need for these is a cork circle. You need some washi tape, and I also like to put some stick-on jewels on these to kind of embellish them, make them a little bit special. And of course a pin back. So here's just all you do. You're just going to take your cork circle, get this out of the way, and I'll make this front and center so that you can see it. And I'm just going to take some washi tape and put strips of washi tape over the cork circle. So now I've got this covered with washi tape strips, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm just going to trim all the washi tape off that extends over the edge. And now we have that. And now I'm just to make it a little special, I'm going to add some little extras to it. there we go. All I have to do left now is to put a pin back on it. If I can find my pin back. That got moved. Oh, why does this always happen when I am filming? Okay, I finally found my pin back. Now I'm gonna just put that on the back there of this, like so. And now I have a pin. Okay, another thing that you can do with the pin, this is optional. You don't necessarily have to do anything to the edges, but I often like to do something with the edges just to give it a little bit more of a finished appearance. Now, one thing that you could do is you could color the edges with Sharpie. I've done that in the past. And you can also take this extra thin washi tape and just apply that to the edge. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. And now I'm going to go on to the back here, and I'm just going to kind of squeeze down the parts that kind of hang over a little bit. It's not very much hangover, but we'll just squeeze it down there. And there we go. See, now I have some nice edges on my pin. Okay, now as promised, I'm going to show you just precisely how I made this very cool little adult coloring pen. And it's based on the same thing that I just showed you. I was able to find at Dollar Tree, no less, this really awesome adult coloring designed duct tape. And so that's what I'm going to use for this. If you're not able to find adult coloring designed duct tape, what you could possibly do is get onto like Google Images and get an adult coloring image that you like, put it into a file and make it small and print it off, and then you could apply that with glue stick. But I'm going to use this tape because this tape is really cool. So let me get started here. I'm going to get a piece of this tape that has the image on it. Again, I gotta find the end, peel it off here, and I'm gonna center that image right onto the cork circle like that. And then I'll cut that off the roll like that. So now I have this on there. I'm gonna take some of this polka dot washi tape and apply it to the top and the bottom. So now I have this, and I'm going to turn it over to the back, and I'm going to trim off the excess. So now I have this. Now I'm going to take a couple of little like on this one I used a kind of a magenta color and yellow. I'm just going to take a couple of Sharpie pens, and I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring in. Since this is about coloring, I'm not going to color in everything. I'm just going to color in a few things to make this look like it's kind of a coloring in process. just dab it. Since this is so tiny, we want to just dab things on very gently. Okay, now I'm going to make the two little colored pencils, little miniature colored pencils here, and I'm going to make them out of a toothpick. All you do here is cut the toothpick in half with wire cutters, like that. Ooh, and that just shot right out of the frame. Let's go retrieve that. So now I've got two little half toothpick pieces, and I'm going to take each one of these and I'm going to color them. And now I'm going to take my gel medium here and I'm going to glue those on. And I'm just going to take another little toothpick and just apply a tiny little bit of the gel medium to each little pencil. All that's left is to put a pin back on it, and if I want to do the edges, which I will show in the next segment. So now on this one, I think I will take a black Sharpie and I will color in the edge with black. And there we go. Now I've got a nice black edge on there. And then I just need to add a pin back and it'll be done. Probably want to wait to add the pin back until the glue is completely dry here. But for you guys, I'm going to do it now. There we go. Okay, the last one that I'm going to show you is how to make these little feather pins out of washi tape. These are also very quick and easy. There's two kinds of tape that you can use. You can use this masking tape, or you can use the thinner washi tape. I'm going to show you both because these are very fast. Okay, since this is a little wider, it actually goes very fast. All you got to do is tear off a piece of tape that's just a little longer than what you want your feather to be. You lay it down face up. No, not face up, face down. With the sticky side up. Sticky side up. And this does not want to cooperate with me. Stay there. Okay, that's good enough. Then you're going to take some wire here that is this kind of thicker floral wire. You don't need to really be able to bend it because though this type of wire is pretty bendable, but you're just going to need a straight piece of wire that's a little longer than your tape. So I'm going to use the wire cutters to cut it. Go. And it doesn't have to be exactly straight. That actually gives it a little bit more of a natural look. Whoops. Now you're going to stick this on to the middle of the tape like that. Don't make it go all the way up to the top, but just leave a little bit down and then have it extend off the edge like that. Then you're just going to take another piece of tape that's about that same length, and you're going to tape over it, like this. And I'm going to cut off that excess there, like so. And then you want to kind of take your fingers and kind of burnish like this along the wire, and that way you'll be able to see. It's going to be like a vein in the middle of the feather. You'll be able to see that. Now all you have to do is to trim it so that it looks like a feather, which basically just means make a rounded top, like so. And then I'm going to take and cut at an angle down here on either side. So, and I'm thinking that the wire extends a little bit too far, so I'm going to cut off the excess down here so that it's just kind of short there. Now see, I have a basic feather shape. What I usually like to do, this is optional, but I usually like to do it, is cut little slits to make it look a little bit more feather-like. These slits are cut at an angle. Another thing that can be done optionally is to take a Sharpie pen and maybe add just some little details. Like I often will like to make little circles or dots on my feathers. That's just me though. You can do whatever you want. To them. So there, now I got some little patterns on my feather. Now all that's left to do is put a pin back on the back. And I've got a pin. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time how to do this, only with the tape that's a little bit narrower. So I'm going to use some of this tape. This is like regular washi tape. It's a little bit narrower. And with this tape, instead of just using just the one piece, you're going to put two pieces down to make it wider. So I'm going to tear some of this off. I'm going to lay it down with the sticky side up. Theoretically, there. Oh, that worked well. And I'm going to take another piece of tape, about the same size, and I'm going to lay it right next to it, but just overlapping just a little bit. And see, now I've got a wider piece of tape, and now I can continue onwards just like I did before with the other tape. It's done. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you try out the projects and have fun making the projects. And as usual, go out and make art.